Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we're honored to be with Dr. Laura Ferguson Mimms. She's the Executive Director of the Tennessee Higher Education Initiative. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Fall is my absolute most favorite season. So we're squarely in the middle of fall, so all is well with the world.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's dive in. But before we do, let's start with your personal story on your end, because it does tie in, including your inspiration and your true north for guiding this work. So give us a little bit of your personal backstory.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're based here in Nashville, and I'm a home girl. I'm a hometown girl. There's not many of us that were born and reared in Nashville. So Nashville is my home, and education is my love. So where there's education to be had, that's where I want to be. I'm a first generation college graduate. Although no one in my family before me had the privilege of attending formal education, they were all and are all incredibly bright, smart, wise individuals. I share that because I fully understand and have internalized the transformative and liberative power of education. And when it's something that you have, it's something that you want to share with others. It's like a Harriet Tubman approach. When you get free, you have an obligation and you're compelled to free others.
Well, and I want to go back to a few words you said, because I think it ties perfectly into this conversation around access, opportunity, the power of education, and especially a college education. And so let's go ahead and dive in and start pulling all these pieces together. So give us some background on the Tennessee Higher Education Initiative.
So yeah, I'm super excited to talk about the work that we do and its intersection with carceral systems. When we start to talk about work that intersects with carceral systems, you'll hear lots of facts and figures. If you Google it, if you talk with people in the field, you'll just be inundated with information. So I want you and I want the listeners to kind of put a few numbers in your mind. And those numbers are 95, 47, 48, and 0. And because I'm an educator, I have to say them again. Those numbers are 95, 47, 48, and 0. Let's start with the 95. 95% of individuals that are currently incarcerated will be released at some point. It may be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. But 95% of our sisters and brothers that are behind the wall are coming home. That's the 95. Let's move on to the 47. Within 3 years, 47% will return to incarceration. Nearly half will return to incarceration. Mama dear would always say, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always had. And right now, our system, the way it's set up, nearly half will return to incarceration over 3 years. If we look at that trajectory over 5 years, 75% of those individuals released will return to prison. Let's move on to the next number, 48. According to the Very Institute, when we introduce post-secondary educational options behind the wall, we reduce the risk of recidivism by 48%, or nearly half. That speaks to the transformative and liberative power of education, that we can reduce the effects of recidivism by nearly half by simply introducing post-secondary educational options. The last number is 0. 0 is the number of graduates for whom we have coordinated a degree over the past 10 years who have returned to incarceration. So what does that mean? First and foremost, it speaks to the commitment and fortitude of the students we have the privilege of serving. But it also speaks to this incredible circle of support that we put around students pre and post release. So now I can take a breath and tell you what we do at THEI. I've shared some numbers. I tell people we do 3 things, and I believe we do them exceptionally well. The first thing we do is to coordinate associate and bachelor's degree programs in Tennessee prisons. For the past 10 years, we've done that in 3 prisons. We've received additional funding to coordinate degree programs in every direct run prison in the state of Tennessee. That vision will be fully realized by May 2023. So we coordinate associate and bachelor's degree programs in Tennessee prisons. The second thing we do is provide pre-entry and re-entry support for the students we serve. So a year pre-release, our re-entry team begins to meet with them to put together a plan for release, and we follow those students forever. Once you're part of the THEI family, you never leave, which is why we have that 0% of our graduates have returned. And the last thing we do is advocate with and for directly impacted individuals through our policy portfolio. Woo, can I take a breath?
That's
Woo,
good.
I
I like the way you paint that
that
picture. That's awesome. Well, and I think it's extremely exciting to hear, when you talk about being, funded now to take it to the next level and, be able to make a larger impact, and the 0 in terms of, the number going back in, the recidivism is immensely powerful in terms of what you're doing. So talk about kind of how it works in terms of selecting the individuals, the time frame, duration. Give us some of the nuances for how it works.
Yes, so our program, our post-secondary educational programs are open to anyone on the inside, regardless of length of sentence. Some people feel as though people that have longer sentences shouldn't be eligible for this programming. We believe in the transformative and liberative power of education. So regardless of the sentence, the programming is open to you. The Assistant Commissioner, Rachel Raleigh-Co of the Tennessee Department of Correction, has noted, even for students who don't have an upcoming release, or even for students who may never be released, that transformation is felt in the carceral setting, that it literally shifts the environment of the facility when we have the opportunity to educate incarcerated individuals. So first, there's no prohibitions in engaging in the program regardless of length of sentence. You simply have to want to do the work. And if you want to do the work, of course, we work with the colleges and universities. We have academic coordinators that go on site every week and kind of serve as the additional hands and feet of the college and or university, because it's difficult to pursue and to complete a degree in any setting, right? Even in the outside world, there's obstacles, there's barriers. So you multiply that by 10 in a carceral setting. So that's what our academic coordinators do: go in, work with students to help them traverse those barriers associated with persisting and completing a degree on the inside. And as I forestated, a year pre-release, our reentry team comes into play and begins to work with the student and their family to put together a reentry plan.
I think what's really special, to your point, is that it gives them something positive to focus on. So in other words, instead of being in the negative environment, now they're shifting even, mentally everything into a positive environment. And then, like as you're talking, in terms of the community ripple effect, right? When they come out, now they have something positive. They have an opportunity. They have hope. And I think there's a really powerful piece of that equation for what you're doing inside, but also as they, come out and re-enter into society. Share some of the feedback, the testimonials that you get on your end that kind of paint the picture of this impact.
I don't even know if we have enough time for me to convey the impact of the work. First of all, as I say all the time, if you go to college and you only leave with a degree, you've missed the point of college. There's so much you learn about yourself and the world around you in the pursuit of that degree. And the same is true on the inside. And that's exactly what the students say, I will tell you that as a career educator, without exception, when I have the privilege of speaking to our students, and I say without exception, when they talk about past educational experiences, we can begin to see trauma as early as elementary school, and as students retell their story. So to once again engage in the educational environment on the post-secondary level, to persist and to complete something gives, first and foremost, gives such a sense of accomplishment in this understanding of, I can do hard things. I can set a goal and I can achieve it. I can move and work and walk toward excellence, even in a difficult environment. So if I can do that on the inside, what can't I achieve with proper motivation and support on the outside?
Yeah, I love it. So talk
Yeah.
about how we can help. How can the community help your efforts?
Well, I will tell you this, Jeremy. First and foremost, we are a nonprofit, and you will not find a nonprofit leader that is not looking for money, right? Like, we love this work. It's hard work. But it takes resources. So we feel incredibly blessed to have a line item in the state's budget. We feel incredibly blessed by some of the national foundations that have come alongside us to support this work. But the fund development is ongoing. I will tell you, our budget for the year we're in is right at $1.5 million, and I still have another $400,000 to raise. I'm not deterred. I know it'll come. I don't know where it's coming from. It has to come, right? Because this work has to continue. And I don't think I'm alone as an executive director, and always. And when it's something that you're proud of, when you have good work and good outcomes, you don't mind asking anyone, and I mean anyone, for their financial support. So first and foremost, we need your money. I don't know if there's a nice way to say that. Go to www.thei.org. There is a donate button on each page of our site. Just hit it, donate. If you happen to play that Powerball and you become a billionaire, we'll take a multi-million-dollar donation. Like, we are always looking for financial resources. And then we're also looking for people to share the gospel, if you will, to share the news of what we're doing, to let people know that these opportunities exist. I'll tell you this, I don't care what circle I'm in. When I tell our story, someone comes up to me and says, I have a cousin, I have a grandchild, I have an aunt, I have an uncle that's in this prison. People that would probably never feel comfortable sharing that with me, people that have inboxed me on Instagram, Facebook. I have a niece that's in this prison. Can you get him or her connected to this program? So we need people to share the news of this transformative and liberative work that we are doing, so that as many people that want to take advantage of it have the opportunity to take advantage of. So first, we need your money. Second, we need you to spread the news of the incredible work we're doing.
You also have an upcoming event as an opportunity to plug in and support. So talk about the upcoming event.
We do. So on December 9th, we're having our card party. And many people may not know that for some incarcerated individuals, the cards that we send at Christmas may be the only card or communication that they receive all year long. So we invite the community to our offices in East Nashville. We have food, we have beverages, and we have holiday cards. And we write inspirational messages like, continue on this path. It's going to make a difference for you and your family. Continue on this path. We're here to support you. We fill out those cards and we mail them to our students across the state. It's something really simple, but incredibly impactful, encouraging, and inspiring to our students, but also to the individuals that get the opportunity to write those notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's one more thing that you wish everyone knew about the Tennessee Higher Education Initiative?
Mm, that's a good question that I wasn't ready for. That this good work is happening and that it's making a difference. And what we have to understand is the transformation and liberation takes place for the student, but also to everyone connected to that student, to their parents, to their children. We just had a graduation behind the wall last week. And let me tell you, when you go to a graduation behind the wall, it's really something to see aunts, uncles, relatives come in and celebrate this accomplishment in this interesting environment. And a mother said this to me with tears in her eyes. She said, I know he's made some bad decisions, but I'm so proud of him because he is the first person in our family to ever complete a degree. To ever complete a degree. She said, so now I can say to my other children and my grandchildren, if this person is behind bars and completed a degree, what can you do? Yeah. Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And, that's generational change right there. So
it's generational change.
Yeah.
You got it. So I was the first person in my family to go to college. So the question became for my children, not if you will go to college, but where. It changes the trajectory of everything. And that same thing happens with the programming that we have the privilege of facilitating.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned it before, mention it again. So website, social media, where do we go?
Yes. Go to our website. The holidays are coming, and I know you want to relieve yourself of some of that extra cash that you have. Buy one less gift, make a donation to THEI. Go to www.thei.org. It's very simple. There's a donate button on each page. If you have the time, join us on December 9th at 6 o'clock, 1006 Shelby Avenue. We'll have a link on our website to the holiday card party. We'll have alumni here, so you'll have the opportunity to engage with some individuals who've gone through the program, who've since been released and are doing incredible things. We're on Facebook and Instagram, Tennessee Higher Education Initiative. Just put in Tennessee Higher Education Initiative and you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, but go to the website and hit that donate button. If you have any questions, my email is very simple, laura@thei.org. Again, that's Laura, Laura, a good, nice Southern Nashville name. Laura, it's actually Laura Ann, but that's really good, right? But the email is just Laura, LAURA@thei.org.
Well, I absolutely love everything you're doing. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for coming on the show.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.